Hello and welcome to all you dear Sagittarians. Welcome for your monthly horoscope for November, and for some of you, yes, happy birthday for some of you dear Sagittarians. Now November time, two important things, and I think you're gonna like it. Two important things happening. First of all, your ruler, Jupiter, squaring up to Pluto. I mentioned that in the other video as well. Of the monthly horoscope of October, and now it's happening. And whilst it's happening, it's actually Venus is going to be involved, and Venus is not only love, it's also what we value, what we think is important. It's how we enjoy ourselves and what we want in life, what we desire, and what we, our talents and our value, and what we think is good and not good. Now, that's one thing that happens. And secondly, I'm going to be talking about Mercury in your sign as well on the 13th. So let's get started with this very interesting fixed star. So that is happening with your ruler. Your ruler in that 11th house, in that house of hope and friends and aspirations, and that very house that is so interesting for a Sagittarian. A Sagittarian that doesn't have a vision for the future is like a very depressed Sagittarian. And Jupiter is there, your ruler, and it's going to square up to Pluto in your second house of self-worth, and Venus there, also in your second house, conjuncting that Pluto, which is so powerful. You feel that throughout the whole month, certainly as from, let's say, the 13th, when Venus goes into Capricorn, but the peak will be around the 24th, 25th. So what does it all mean? And it's on Venus and Pluto are on the fixed star, which is called Rugbat, and this is the symbol of steadiness, the symbol of the archer's stance. So it implies steadiness, solidness, and that's something that you Sagittarians kind of understand. If you're going to aim towards a goal, you want to be steady so that you're going to become more successful in the results. And that's what's happening with you, with those aspirations, maybe friends as well, working together with groups, or working together with like-minded people, and that giving you a tremendous amount of self-worth, because Pluto and Venus together in your second house. That's a positive side, the positive side is Venus and Pluto. It's like you're getting a lot of self-worth, very important self-worth through friends, or through you connecting with other people, or through your aspirations that you're having for the future, and your hope that you express, and that you show for the future, the courage and the hope that you give to other people, that is so known for Sagittarians, whether it is your sun, your rising sign like me, I have a Sag rising sign, or your moon in Sagittarius. These people, they can support others like no others, because they do it without reason. They don't want something in return for it. The only thing they want is that other people grow and develop and explore and experience what they need to experience. So there is like this steadiness, this long-term goal that is going to stick with you, and that is going to give you in the future, because that's what Pluto means in the long run in the second house, that ultimately you can have a lot of self-worth, you can have a lot of money, you can earn more money and more. So first it breaks it down, the values. It depends on where it is in your second house. So pretty interesting for you Sagittarians. Sagittarians becoming way more confident. It might also mean, so I'm not going to say this is the negative side, but it might mean that you also need to let go of something when it comes to possessions, when it comes to resources that you are strongly attached to, and that is no longer suiting you. For instance, a certain value, actually, it can be a person as well, but that depends on your horoscope. But I think a certain value, maybe you value a lot, let's say your home, your house, for instance. But maybe you need to let go of that because you want another job and you need to move or whatever. You know, something like that. If you have been attached way too much to something, now is the time to say, I need to let it go, because the stronger I'm going to be attached to. And you know your context, you're going to feel that if you are attached to something that you feel is not good for you anymore, you know, then you're trying to manipulate and you try to keep it towards you. It's like a bit of Venus in Scorpio. A lot of Sagittarians do have Venus in Scorpio, by the way. So it's about that energy. It's about, I don't want to let it go, but I know that I need to let it go. For others, it's actually about improving their self-worth and not being afraid of having those great ideas and having those great aspirations and having those big dreams, because they can ground you in making them happen. And they, you know, you are a Sagittarian, you've got at some degree Saturn there in your sign, which makes the Sagittarians more practical than normal. And last but not least, you're going to have a new moon in your sign at the very end of the month, the 29th. So there is this new beginning. There is like this new energy that is coming towards you. The sun is already in there as from the 22nd, so you feel it, that new things are coming your way, new aspirations, and you can start putting them into practice. And especially putting them into practice towards the end of the month, because not only that new moon there, which marks like it's a new you, it's like your birthday, you could say, but it's also about being very realistic, because Mercury is in there as well. It's about, and Mercury is your thoughts and how you communicate, and it's going to be this time sharing between realistic, rational thinking, but also about thinking a bit more with more possibilities. That's the Neptune-Saturn square. You know, Mercury in your first house with Saturn, thinking very serious about yourself and thinking very serious about your future. So you're not going to do this just to have another aspiration like you have many. No, it's going to be maybe one, and a very serious one. And it squares up to your Neptune, so in your 4th house. So that means that you also need to be relaxed, maybe relaxing a little bit more at home, and going towards the water side is also a good thing with Neptune in the 4th house. Maybe you move towards that when Neptune is very much close to your IC. Anyways, so it's a month of seriousness for you Sagittarians, but it's also a month of profound, very deep values. Maybe another possibility that you can get a gift from a friend. That could be the case as well. And it's whether that gift is material, emotional, whatever kind of support it is, you're going to be very, very glad with it. Having said that, I wish you a very good month and see you next month. Bye-bye.